going, Divine Mommies? I'm Crystal Divine Queen. This is my indigenous lifestyle. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm making a real quick video for you. It's going to be one in a series about ultrasounds, okay? There's a lot that I want to talk about when it comes to ultrasounds, but I don't want to cram it all up into one video because it might be like 30-45 hour long. So what I am going to do is kind of break it up a little bit. And so this first video that I'm making about ultrasounds is basically me just saying, what is an ultrasound? I mean, we know, right, that ultrasound means we get to go see what our baby looks like. But what exactly is an ultrasound? And eventually we're going to get to the point where we're addressing the necessity of ultrasounds, or at least the necessity of routine ultrasounds and the risk that we are not being informed of when it comes to ultrasounds. Y'all know I always got my little notebook here. So what are ultrasounds? All right, ultrasounds are also known as sonography, but they are not the same thing, okay? They are totally different things, and a lot of time those words are used interchangeably, so we think a sonograph is the same thing as an ultrasound, but it is not, and I will break that down a little bit further in this video. But first, let me clarify what exactly an ultrasound is, okay? So ultrasounds use sound waves to develop ultrasound images, and those are images of what is going on inside of the body. Ultrasound requires the use of an instrument called a transducer, which emits high frequency sound that is inaudible to the human ear, and then records the echoes as the sound waves back and forth to determine the shape and the size and the consistency of tissues and organs inside of the body. So that's like the definition of an ultrasound, which I never knew that. Like, it was never broken down to me in that form. You know, in my brain, I took it as a way for them to take a picture of my insides, but I had no idea that it was reliant on sound waves, and that it's not really an actual picture like a photograph, like, you know, what you and I may be familiar with as far as like a camera. You know, there's no camera. It's really just like an estimate based off of sound waves. So it's really pretty cool and interesting how an ultrasound is able to formulate an image for us without taking a picture like a camera would. Just recording the echoes of the sound waves bouncing back and forth. Like, that's how they come up with images of our baby or our insides. You know, it's pretty cool. But even with that said, there's so much more than just that we don't know about ultrasounds, which I will get to the risk and the benefits in another video about ultrasounds. But I just want to stick to breaking down what is an ultrasound, and then also means explaining to you guys how are they used. There are many different uses for ultrasounds in medicine besides pregnancy. You can use them for diagnostics. They are even used during medical procedures. They are even used as therapeutic applications. So there's many different ways to use ultrasounds. It is not solely for pregnant women. And not only that, there are different types of ultrasounds that can be used on the surface of the skin or any natural opening within the body. So obviously, when we go get our ultrasound, or like we see on TV, they have the instrument over the belly, applying it against the skin. I don't know if you've ever had an ultrasound on any other part of your body part. I believe I had one on my leg before, you know, where they just kind of use that jelly and rub that instrument up and down. You can also use it in any type of natural opening, so that can be transvaginal. I've had that done to me one time with my first pregnancy, because I knew very early on. So my very first ultrasound was, you know, transvaginal, where they had like that little stick that they inserted inside of me to get the ultrasound image. There's also transrectal ultrasounds, which would be pertaining to any type of prostate situation. There's even transesophageal, which obviously, you know, would have to do with going down the mouth, down the throat, and usually that's for images of your heart. But along with different types of ultrasounds and different ways to use ultrasounds. There's also different type of images that an ultrasound can produce. Normally we are aware of 2D images, but there's also 3D images, okay? And then there's 4D. 4D is basically a 3D image in motion. You have those three different type of dimensional ultrasounds. From what we gathered and what we have been told, ultrasounds are typically painless, they're widely accessible, and they're really not that expensive. We are told that there's no exposure to any iodizing radiation like CAT scans and CT scans, or x-rays. But I would hold off on that because there is not so much truth to that, because there isn't a lot of research that has been done with that. There is a whole lot that is unknown about ultrasounds as far as the risk to the fetus and the mom. But again, I will address those things in a future video. Today I just want to break down what is an ultrasound. So earlier when I was saying there's a difference between sonography and ultrasound. So an ultrasound is a tool used to take a picture. Okay, a sonogram is the picture that the ultrasound generates. Sonography is the use of an ultrasound tool for diagnostic purposes. Okay, so those are the differences between ultrasounds and sonography, and what a sonogram is. A sonogram and an ultrasound, those are the two words that really get used interchangeably, and there is a difference. There is definitely a difference between the two. And we have to start educating ourselves on these words and what these words mean, because when we don't know, we allow them the room to convince us of, whatever it may be. They may not feel like explaining to us in the moment the difference between an ultrasound and a sonogram. So they'll tell us it's one and the same thing. Oh, it's just the same thing. Oh, it's just another word for an ultrasound. Well, no, it's not. There is a difference. And even though that difference may seem small, it's just important to know what the difference is, because otherwise you're uneducated, you're unfamiliar with what exactly is going on. Okay, so ultimately that's pretty much it as far as what are ultrasounds that I want to give you guys in this video. But I do want you to take away from this video that ultrasounds may be beneficial as, a way for you to be able to see your baby, and also a way for you to be able to pick on or detect if there's any early signs of problems or complications with the baby or within yourself in your womb. But ultrasounds are not evidence-based, they are not mandatory, and they do not come without risk. Okay, so if you want to know more about the risk, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel so you can get the notification as soon as I upload the video where I dive in deep as far as the risk and the benefits of ultrasounds. All right, thank you guys for tuning into my video. I hope you like it, and I hope it was informative as always. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are not already a part of the family. I would love to have you. Check out some of my playlists. I know I have some videos that will resonate with you, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.